I find it interesting that so many people have a bone to pick with porn, especially here on YouTube. You see a lot of content creators making videos telling you to stop watching porn. Now, I understand why they have a bone to pick with porn. It's not healthy to live out your sex life vicariously through your favorite porn star. You know, it's a much better experience if you're socializing and you're out there living out your own sex life. That's a much healthier way to live. So I understand why they have a bone to pick with it. I just don't understand why they pick porn out of all the things they could pick. All the things in plain sight that are distracting people, slowing people down, and causing people just to not progress in life. Sports. What's the difference between porn and sports? There is not one. It's the same thing. Most young guys can name off the whole entire stat sheet of their favorite football player, favorite basketball player. They can tell you how many championships so-and-so has won. They know everything about them. When their favorite team wins, they feel good. When their favorite team loses, they feel like they lost. They feel like they accomplished something when their favorite team wins a championship. Even though they have absolutely no part in it. None whatsoever. What's the difference between living out your sex life vicariously through a porn star and living out your warrior life through your favorite athlete? It's the same thing. Both of them are stopping you from progressing in those areas of life. Now, sports are just a hobby. But the majority of people, especially in America, their hobbies aren't actual physical hobbies. Their hobbies are watching other people do their hobbies. Music's another one. Most young people can recite every single lyric to their favorite singer, rock star, rapper's, new album. Last 5 albums. They can recite every single word. But they can't play an instrument. They can't sing themselves. They can't do any of that themselves. So they live their lives vicariously through their favorite songs. None of this stuff is that difficult. Not everybody can be a pro athlete. Not everybody's going to make it as a rock star. I'm not telling you to do that. But what I'm saying is, if you're picking your hobbies, or what I should say is, if your hobbies are watching your favorite celebrity perform their hobbies, you're not living a very good life. And it's sad to say, but it almost seems like it was intentional. So right now we're looking at Facebook coming out with the metaverse stuff, right? Everybody's freaking out. Oh my God, metaverse. Metaverse, you put on the goggles, and instead of typing in a chat room on Facebook or a community post or whatever, comment section, now you put the goggles on and you can actually sit there. Well, it looks like you're actually at home, but it looks like you're sitting there and you're actually socializing with these people. Everybody's freaking out. They say it's unhealthy. It's something that should be avoided. We need to stop this from happening. And I agree. I don't like it either. I think it's evil, to be honest with you. But it's not the first step. It's not like this isn't the big changeover. There's been 1,000 steps over the last 100 years. In plain sight, you're just not paying attention. What do you think the radio was invented for? Do you think it was invented to entertain you, to inform you? It's a propaganda machine. It always has been. It was built to program your mind and make you think a certain way. Whatever agenda is about to be pushed, that's what they'll put on the radio. At least 100 years ago, that's what they would do. We need to get a bunch of youngsters pumped up for a war. Let's pump out movies about war heroes. Hell, in China right now, they're making movies Uh, teaching the young men in China, pumping propaganda in their heads, anti-American propaganda, getting them ready in case something pops off. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that necessarily, but that's what it's been used for. We used it for that here. Every major world war, the countries used it to pump propaganda into the minds of their youth, And then Hollywood came around, right? Hollywood. It's amazing, whatever the culture of Hollywood is, it rubs off on the rest of America, and America rubs off on the rest of the world. So, if the current trend is like families and stay-at-home moms, which that's how it was in like the 40s and 50s, right? And you had the baby boomers and that whole era, but they were pumping that sort of content, and people were watching it and being influenced by it. But we fast forward to like the 80s and 90s, it's like it's all drugs and guns and crime and just stupid shit, And people are going for it at rapid rates. So many young kids. And I'm not going to lie, man. When I was like 18 or 19, and I wasn't the type of person to use drugs. It wasn't my thing. I smoked a little bit of weed and I drank a little bit, but I would listen to certain music and they would talk about like ecstasy and stuff. And every now and then I would do it because I was influenced by the music. Just a young, dumb kid looking back, but, that happens to a lot of people. A lot of young people out there. And really makes you think, there were a lot of, not a lot, but, a few people I would know, their parents wouldn't let them go to the movies, wouldn't let them watch TV, cable TV. Wouldn't let them buy, albums with parental advisories on them and stuff. And I couldn't figure out why. I was like, come on, it's just entertainment, But anybody that's paying attention right now, they know why those parents didn't want their kids listening to that stuff. It ruins people. It really does. It's influenced culture to a point where, young kids actually think it's cool to fuck their brains up. They think it's cool to go to jail. They think it's cool to, pimp women out and shit like that. There's all sorts of shit. But they think it's cool to do that because the entertainment industry influences them to do that. And nobody is exempt. Whatever your favorite genres are in music, movies, whatever, it will feed your brain. It will pump that propaganda into you and influence you to do things that you likely wouldn't do if you didn't listen or watch. And it does happen. So when I see people worshiping professional athletes as if they're gods, worshiping Hollywood actors and musicians. People were at that Travis Scott concert, and he's up there doing some demonic gibberish, and people are in the crowd dying. I mean, when you go to church, people are singing the hymns or whatever religion you are. You go to your place of worship and you sing, right? And you feel the Holy Spirit. You feel like you're in touch with God. The Travis Scott concert, it kind of seemed like they were in touch with the devil. If you believe that you can get in touch with God, then I guess you would have to believe that you can also get in touch with the devil, right? That's just something interesting to think about. I'm not going to go there necessarily, but I mean, it's something to think about. So, I definitely think that if you're a person out there that wants to progress in life, and you're somebody that's watched some of these videos, like these anti-porn videos, and it resonates with you, you understand it. I think you should take a step back and look at how many other distractions you have too. You know, think of all the stuff that you could cut out of your life. All those stupid movies that don't provide any value, all that music, all those sports that are a waste of time. You know, time is money. Time is productivity. Time matters. If you're spending 6 hours on Saturday and 6 hours on Sunday watching football, I understand it's a stress reliever, whatever. That's a full 12 hours you could have spent investing, doing something for yourself. Instead, you spent it worshiping your favorite team, your favorite athlete. Same thing with the music and the movies. It definitely slows your life down significantly. It slows your progress down. And in most religions, idolatry is a sin, right? Everybody knows that you're not supposed to worship idols. That's pretty much every religion. And up until the invention of Hollywood, it wasn't something that occurred. And whether you're religious or not, you have to at least take into consideration that, if you're spending all day Saturday and all day Sunday watching your favorite sports teams, worshiping your favorite athletes, living your life vicariously through them, you're slowing the progress of your life down. If you're watching porn, living your sex life vicariously through your favorite porn star, you definitely ain't living your best life, pal. I'll tell you that much. And so on and so forth. You get the idea. I guess the message that I want to get across is, give it a try. If you have the discipline to give it a try, to step back and give up television, music, sports, porn, give it all up. Just for a month or so. I know most people don't have the self-control to do that. They don't even want to do that. And that's totally fine. But I bet you, matter of fact, I can just about guarantee that you'll improve your life. You'll do a complete 180. You will elevate yourself to levels you've never elevated yourself to before. If you can give up those waste of time hobbies, the idolatry, worshiping the celebrities, if you can give that up and start focusing on yourself, spend all the time that you would spend listening to music in the car, spend it thinking, contemplating, brainstorming a new project. Spend that 12 hours every weekend you spend watching football, doing something for yourself, a side hustle, investing, reading something that can actually, give you real information. Spend that 30 minutes a day you spend watching porn, calling a female. Or if you're a female, call a man. Call somebody and socialize. Get to know somebody. Call your mom, your dad, your cousin, your brother. Give up the bullshit. If you want to live your best life, you got to cut the bullshit out of it. Anyways, I'm just pretty much ranting at this point, so hopefully you got some value out of this video. That's about it for today, guys. Until next time, see ya.